Hello, my name is David Benjamin. I'm a Republican candidate for Brown County Sheriff in March of 2016. I'm a strong faith Christian. I have 22 years of law enforcement experience. Currently, I'm Chief of Police in Winchester. Been over there for about 8 years. I was in Ripley at the Ripley Police Department for 10 years prior to that. I've also worked in Higginsport, Georgetown, and for Rocky Fork State Park.
We come from a long line of law enforcement officers. Our great-grandfather, Eugene Fulton, was sheriff in Adams County. His son, Louis Fulton, was also sheriff in Adams County for, I believe, 2 terms. Our grandfather, Larry Fulton, was a police officer in the village of Aberdeen and also the village of Ripley. It was the one thing that he loved and that he instilled in David and I.
If you need anything, we try to be there for you. That's what life needs to be. If you can help somebody, be there to help them. In everything we've been through, we always pull together as a family. Our family's strong. We're strong in our faith. We're strong in loving people. We're there to help. And not bragging on us, but Mom and Dad instilled that in us. Our grandparents instilled that in us. And life's about what you can do for others more than it is what you can do for yourself. You realize material things aren't much. It's being there to help somebody else out.
You know, when I started my campaign, there was a Bible verse that really stood out to me. The Bible verse is Matthew 17:20. And what that verse says, it says that if you have the faith of a mustard seed, that you can look at a mountain and say, move, and that mountain will move. Christ said that to his disciples, and I truly feel like that speaks to all of us. That speaks to me, and I have the faith in Christ that no matter what he tells me, that he will lead me through it. Another thing that we looked at during our very beginning of our campaign was we were looking for a tagline. The tagline that popped into my head was the courage to serve and the faith to succeed. That explains who I am. I do have the courage to serve. That's what I love to do. I love to serve the people. I love to serve Christ. And I think it takes courage to stand up for what is right. You know, no matter what someone else may say, if you know what's right, you need to stand up for that. And that's kind of the way I feel. And I do have the faith to succeed. It takes faith to succeed in today's world, and it always has. My faith in Christ helps me to succeed each and every day because I know wherever he leads me, it'll be a success.
The courage to serve and the faith to succeed. For David, I think courage would be anything that he's ever wanted to conquer. He's just had the courage to do it. Even if he knew that he was the underdog, he still would step up and try things regardless of whether or not people thought he could do it or not. And then as far as faith goes, you know, we grew up in a Christian family with 2 grandparents that had us in church. And, you know, recently in the last couple years, he's gotten saved and then given his life to God. So really he's done a 360 as far as faith and where he feels like God's leading him in prayer and, you know, family life. So
The courage to serve, the faith to succeed. We have been brought up, my parents instilled courage in us. Do what you have to. Get in there and fight for what you want. Keep the faith. As long as you have faith in God, as long as you have the faith, you can make it in this life. That's what it's all about. Having the faith to do what you know you want to do, because with God, everything is possible.
actually, in my experience, kind of some of the things that he's got over other officers would be that he's very fair. Any inmate that I've ever had him actually bring to jail, even if it's somebody that we've had to have a use of force on, somebody that was drunk and belligerent, usually by the time he's leaving after he's done his paperwork, they're thanking him for being fair to him and treating him right. So actually fairness, integrity, he's not crooked. He does things the right way, he tells the truth. Good with paperwork, which is huge. He has a good rapport with court officials, your judges, your clerks, clerk of courts.
What are some of the qualities you think it takes to be a good sheriff? And what do you think that I would bring to that position?
Honesty, first thing. You try to look to your police force and, as somebody you can trust. With things going on today and the way society is now, cops are trying to give them a bad name, and so someone that's out there and honest with the public and is willing to stand up and put the load on his shoulders and take it from there and be straightforward with people.
I think we have to continue with our enforcement, the drug interdiction on our highways. We also have to do education for our youth, and we have to be able to rehabilitate those who are addicts. It's a very costly answer to our drug epidemic, but it's something that we have to do. Again, back to our education of our youth, I think we have to be more active in our youth's life. I've had a lot of experience coaching basketball, baseball, and being involved with the youth. And I really think if we get more involved in our youth and give them more opportunities, it'll help to get rid of a lot of our drug problem. A couple things that we've done in Winchester is we've been very active with the National Night Out. We've done that for the last 2 years, a lot of activities there. Again, we try to educate them about the drug problem so they know what to look for and what to stay away from. And we try to show them all the dangers that are involved with it.
One of the things that David had started in Winchester as their chief of police, along with the help of other emergency personnel there in Winchester, is started the National Night Out, which is a national of the United States. They've started some law enforcement night out, so you can meet emergency personnel, you can meet police officers, life squad members, fire department, any type of community groups.
And we make sure that we don't discriminate in any way, shape, or form. There's a lot of kids that can't afford certain things. There's kids that can afford certain things, but we want to make sure that all the kids are involved, no matter how much money their parents have or what that may be. So that gives them an opportunity to get more involved in that way.
They have a DJ with music, multiple bouncy houses, a dunk booth that David gets in and allows the kids to kind of knock him into the water. People painting faces, and the children love it. And the children see that they've got a connection with law enforcement and they don't have to be afraid. It's people that they can go to and in a time of need if they need help, instead of, parents saying, you need to behave or we're going to take you to jail. With National Night Out, actually what they're getting is, okay, it's all right to be around police. They're good people. And you could even see on David's Facebook page that he dances. He'll do a line dance with the kids. So, he's just one of us.
It's unbelievable. At all the events I've been to with him this year, we always have people that come from Winchester just to back him because he's done such a good job with their town. He's cleaned Winchester up. It's amazing. People couldn't even let their kids go out and play in the park because there was needles, everything. It was everywhere.
This has also given us a strong opportunity to get involved with all our community, parents and adults that see that we truly care, and builds a stronger relationship so that they're able to communicate with us and tell us the things that they have issues with, and together we can build some solutions for the problems in our community.
Over the years, the relationship between the sheriff's office and village agencies, even the state highway patrol, it has neglected to be what it should be. It's definitely gone downhill. There's been some clash between agencies who should respond to calls out in the county, and their mutual aid agreement has been somewhat stirred up by it. So the one thing that I really see David doing, and something that's very important to him, is that the Sheriff's Department works hand in hand with every agency, whether it be Ripley Police Department, Hamersville, Sardinia, Russellville, Mount Orb. If they're the first available unit to get to a call where somebody's breaking into a home, or a domestic, or even a life squad situation where somebody needs help, if they're the first available unit because a road deputy's not available and they're at the other end of the county, then David believes that it's the liability of that department, but also you have a mutual aid agreement, and that should be, your first available unit should be who responds. So I think that you'll definitely see within even probably his first year in office, is that mutual aid and those relationships with other agencies will be mended.
Another issue I'd like to speak about is our jail problem. Obviously, the closed down of the Brown County Jail just a few short weeks ago, and this has been a costly problem for Brown County. Currently, we're spending $180,000 per month to house inmates in Butler County. Now, what's not included in that cost is the cost of our deputies that have to drive up there and drive back, the manpower that we're using for that, wear and tear on the cruisers, all those different added costs that are above and beyond that $180,000. The plan, per the commissioners and the sheriff, is to try to get the jail repaired over the next 6 months and get it opened back up. So this is going to be a long, drawn-out solution.
That's one of the big important things that your next sheriff is going to have to deal with. The one thing that I do know about him is that he's going to research. He'll put the right people in positions to look at the jail, to come up with a plan to make sure that we're using county budget money in ways that we should. from my experience working as a corrections officer, the jail is the first place that you have civil liability. You know, you're taking people's rights away. And I know personally in my career there at Brown County is that corrections officers are not getting the training that they're even required by law. You know, you're required your first year to have so many hours of training in corrections to be certified through the state of Ohio, and we have officers that have been there for more than 3 to 10 years that have not ever been certified through the state of Ohio, and that's not acceptable. I believe that that's something that quickly will be taken care of if David is elected.
I hope that we can get together and as commissioners and the public, the citizens of Brown County, as well as all law enforcement, get together and maybe come up with some other options. We know that we have to fix the jail because we do not have enough time to build a new one before this problem has come to an end. So we definitely have to build a new jail, and long term, you're probably looking somewhere in the range of $10 million to build a new jail. You're also looking at a time frame of about 2 years. By the time you start the floor plans, you start the blueprints, and come up with a plan on how you're going to fund a new jail. So that's something that's going to take some time. We want to definitely get together as a group, try to come up with all the different options and find out what's best for Brown County.
We need a change in our county. We need somebody that cares. And David cares about everything. He cares about people. If you meet David, you'll realize he is such an honest person. It's unbelievable, not only because he's my son, but he's a really unbelievable man. It's just, he's all about people. He wants to change our county. He wants to clean it up.
I have a servant's heart, and I want to help people. I feel strongly about our drug epidemic here in Brown County, and I think I have a plan to help us to get out of that situation. It's not a one answer to the drug problem, but there are many different answers to our drug problem.
One thing that I guarantee that the public will see from David would be that he may show up at your 911 call. If your child's not breathing or it's an emergency call with a life squad, he may be the one showing up to do CPR on somebody that you love. He might show up to your burglary in progress because he's going to hop in a car and go where's needed, whether or not he needs to be sitting behind a desk. You know, obviously there's times that he'll have to do that as a sheriff, but he's also going to be in a patrol car or in his, vehicle responding to a call.
Like I said, honesty and being straightforward with people are probably the two best things, and the willingness to go ahead and take the bull by the horns and put everything on your shoulders and be accountable. That's something that a lot of people aren't good at anymore. They want to throw the blame, and accountability and honesty is in short supply anymore. And so I think you make that, you're going to make that stand out. I mean, that's a couple of qualities that really stand out that make me believe in you. I really do.
Brown County needs a working sheriff. They need somebody that's not going to do the required 8 hours a month by the state of Ohio. They need somebody that's at least given 40 hours a week. And if I know my brother like I think I do, you'll probably get a sheriff that's given 60 to 70 hours a week.
To be in a small community is just amazing, and that's why we want to work to make this community where more people want to come. We want to make it to build the county, to make it a better place to live. It needs built up. We want people to move in here and enjoy where they live and be proud to say, I'm from this county, I'm from this area, and it's wonderful to live here. And we need to get back to that. We really do. And in the years that I've been here, I've seen a lot of change, and it's time for a better change.
My dad would be a good sheriff because he would like to clean up the county and get all the drugs off the street so nobody would have to be sick and have to deal with them anymore.